Good morning, dear students. Let's continue with active and passive voice. In last video, we have already learned the construction of sentences in different tenses in passive voice, and we have also learned that few tenses cannot be used in continuous tense, and generally commonly in English language we don't use as present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, and future perfect continuous tense, and also future continuous tense. That already we have learned. These tenses cannot be used in passive form. Now let's continue with passive construction. Infinitive. Infinitive. What is infinitive? 2 plus V1. So here in passive you have to add B before B, just after 2. So 2B, and you know very well in passive form you always use third form of main verb. So 2B plus V3. Just you are adding B and V1 is changing to 3. So I am to read this report. I am to read this report. So you know very well participle object. So this report. Then with report what will be? Am cannot be used. What will be? Is. Then to add B, then V3. So what is the third form of read? Read. The report is to be read by me. The report is to be read by me. So it was construction of infinitive in passive. We are just adding B before using V3. Now come to having. Suppose having planted. Having planted the tree. Having planted the tree, he called me. So generally here having planted the tree, he called me. So having been. So here the tree having been planted. The tree having been planted by him, I was called. Having been planted the tree, I was called. So here you have seen, if it is having, then you are adding been. Now let's learn when do we use passive voice. When do we use passive voice? Passive voice. So first is there, we use passive voice when you don't want to say who is doing the work, to eliminate the mention of the agent. Ravi was found sleeping. You don't want to mention who found Ravi sleeping, so it will be better to use passive. Active sentence can be used in passive without changing the meaning. If transformation comes and the sentence is in active, you may convert into passive because meaning will not change. Okay? And if it is passive, you can convert into active. Meaning will not change. Only form will change. But sometimes passive or active will not be possible, will not be perfect. So in the particular situation, you have to use only passive, and in particular situation, you have to use active. So first, if you don't want to mention who does the work, agent means subject, who does the work, use passive. Second, if you want to describe a process, how something is made. Suppose you want to say how one can make tea. So, first the milk is boiled, look, passive. The sugar is added. So, this is process. Third, when you are defining something, we use passive. A word used to describe an action is called a verb. So here is called, look, this is passive. Now, when you are narrating an incident or an event, passive can be used. A man was stopped by the police. See, the prize distribution was held in the auditorium. When you are making request or invitation, passive should be used. You are requested to come on the stage. You are cordially invited, this invitation, to the function. Passive. When you are giving notice, so in notice, passive should be used. Smoking is prohibited here. Smoking is prohibited here. Look. Shoes are mended here. This is notice. It's written on placard. Now let's come to announcement. If you are making an announcement, passive should be used. The train to Amritsar has been delayed by an hour. The train to Patna has been cancelled. This is announcement. Now when you are classifying, when you are putting into a category, particular category, passive should be used. Sources of energy can be classified into two groups. Now,